No,
Sure
so
you'll
in a
die.
recent
Yeah.
podcast of yours, you were talking about taking risks. And one of the things that kind of like resonated with me is you were talking about like jumping out of airplanes, and you're like, well, I wouldn't do that with just anybody, which talk about the best possible allegory for that. But we talk about the mindset behind taking risks and not being not ultimately in 20 or 30 years regretting that you didn't apply for that position in a different city, or take on that leadership role that you weren't sure if you would be successful at. I mean, I know that a lot of this resonates with your message. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, or they're people think about self-interest, and I tell people don't until you decide what you really love to do and the industry you like to be in. Don't get married, don't have a house, and don't have children because they tie you down. You get stuck, and then you get insecure. And my wife and I moved 11 times in my career with Hilton, Marriott, and Disney. We moved 11. She moved 12 with her dad, who was in the Navy. So we don't care where we go. And I think that was the key. First, I got out of that small town environment. I went to Washington, D.C. Boy, that opened my eyes like, whoa. I said, I have friends named Mohammed now, and Ricardo, and Maria. You don't have those in Oklahoma. And it opened my eyes. And I always talk about exposure is so important. And that's, we got to really encourage kids, when you graduate from college, get out of the village and go to the big city because your mom wants you to stay in the village, and you will be there, and you one day you'll be sorry you didn't, because you'll have that little job. You could have had more, you could have known more, you could have traveled. But it's an insecurity. I mean, really, it's insecurity is why we don't take risks. And I'm not taking crazy risks. It's calculated risk. And knowing, so what if it doesn't work out? Well, I always knew I can always, in the hotel and hospitality business, I'd always get a job doing something. I was a good waiter, so I could always go make some money.
Right.
So I took why I'm wired that way, because I always thought about what's the worst thing can happen. Doesn't work out, big deal. And I think we had a security blanket around us, family, that would have supported us if things went south. So you think it through, and you never know how great it can be if you don't go. And I mean, and somebody said, the danger of people end up not having a great life is because they settle for an okay life. It's okay. We pay the bills, and half the Americans don't even have a passport. They've never been anywhere, and even a lot of them from where don't want to go to the big city. It's too dangerous.
Mhm.
So it's just today, though, kids are getting exposed earlier. So I think we're going to see a lot more. They know what's going on. They're on the internet, and you can see it. And they're traveling and taking school trips and international trips, and their friends are from every race and sexual orientation and religion. And so a lot of the kids, no matter what, I think those days are over of nobody knowing what's going on. It's just maybe my generation. As soon as we're gone, it'll be better.